We will stand to receive our great man of God. Amen. Amen. Come on and give God a hand praise one more time. Come on and shout unto him. Come on and give God glory.
Okay. My name is Alexa Ann Watson, and I am the great-great-great-granddaughter of
Frederick Douglass is my
great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Frederick Douglass.
I am the great-great-great-great-grandchild. I've been counting on my fingers since I was like 5.
This is the 4th of July. It is the birthday of your national independence and of your political freedom.
Fellow citizens, I shall not presume to dwell at length on the associations that cluster about this day. The simple story of it is that 76 years ago, the people of this country were British subjects.
Oppression makes a wise man mad. Your fathers were wise men, and if they did not go mad, they became restive under this treatment.
With brave men, there's always a remedy for oppression. They succeeded, and today you reap the fruits of their success. The freedom gained is yours, and you, therefore, may properly celebrate this anniversary.
Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence?
Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us?
I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary.
Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common.
The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me.
The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me.
This 4th of July is yours, not mine.
You may rejoice. I must mourn. Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire.
It is not the gentle shower, but thunder.
We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake.
The feeling of the nation must be quickened.
The conscience of the nation must be roused.
The propriety of the nation must be startled.
The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed.
And its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him, more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim.
To him, your celebration is a sham.
Your boasted liberty an unholy license.
Your national greatness, swelling vanity.
Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless.
Your denunciations of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence.
Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery.
Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings,
with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him
mere bombast,
fraud,
deception,
impiety,
and hypocrisy. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. Allow me to say in conclusion, notwithstanding the dark picture I have this day presented of the state of the nation, I do not despair of this country.
This speech was written almost 170 years ago, but this part of it is still extremely relevant, especially with today's protests.
I think that when people are oppressed, they feel silenced, and if someone feels silenced, they get angry. There are certain tactics that you need to use to get people to really hear your voice, and it's not always going to be just like a very calm discussion.
I think he's mostly talking to the people who are already on his side, but believe that they can still try to talk this out, or that things are still justifiable. I know a lot of people at the time were saying, and people now are still saying that it's not as bad as it could be.
While the 4th of July probably does not feel the same to me as it does to others, I wouldn't say that it has no meaning, because it is the time when America, the country, came free from another country. But I would say that it's not the time in which I gained my freedom.
He had a lot of hope, especially for his age, and like I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm only 20 years old, but I'm exhausted. Like I have these thoughts like, will we ever really get to this point, or is this really something that we should actually spend our time fighting for?
Somebody once said that pessimism is a tool of white oppression, and I think that's true. I think in many ways we are still slaves to the notion that it will never get better. But I think that there is hope, and I think it's important that we celebrate Black joy and Black life, and we remember that change is possible, change is probable, and that there's hope.
By Frederick Douglass. Father, thank you for this day. Your people have come to hear from you. I pray, God, that no person leave the way that they came. That this word fall on good ground and bring forth fruit in its season. Absolutely no weapon formed against your people will prosper. All that are present that seek you, you will allow them to hear your voice. You'll allow them to see their path clearly. They'll understand their purpose, and they'll live their days pleasing you. In Jesus' name, amen. Put your Bibles in your hand. Make this bold and powerful declaration. This is my Bible. This is my Bible. I am what it says I am. I can do what it says I can do. Today, I will be taught the word of faith. I will hear, understand, and do the word of faith. I have a pastor anointed to teach me the word of faith. I will follow my pastor as my pastor follows Christ. Amen. You may be seated. Amen. I got my eyes on this mic as I'm again. Young people, you can go ahead downstairs and get your discussion going. And I don't know whether this is Sister Bryant or Sister Mathis that's just going to introduce the discussion, so none of our young people would take offense to what's going to take place today. But it is designed to build them up. Let's get right into this word. We wanted to put this video out. You know, when we look at where we are today, so many people get caught up in a movement, get caught up with an incident, and we stay focused just for a little while, and then we lose focus somewhere down the line. And it is imperative that as we as a people, if we're going to bring about change, we can't be a 3-week focus-minded people. We have to have an agenda. We need to know our calling. We need to know our purpose. And we need to live it out until we die. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. So it is important that we do that. Listen, the air-conditioned system, I apologize again. This time the program was set, but there's something wrong with the system. So a call has already been put in. It's just not blowing cold air. So we're going to get that taken care of. All right? But I'm not going to make any excuses, and I'm definitely not looking for a way out. All right, you know, I'm not about to complain. Things could be worse. I was born and raised in church. We didn't know what air conditioning was, so I'm just right back at home as a boy. So don't get all uncomfortable and talk about I ain't coming next Sunday. You know what I mean? Some of y'all them text people, and then they say, "Oh, the AC ain't working again." And then, well, I ain't coming. You know what I mean? So don't y'all be like that. We get it right. I want to talk to you today of a metamorphosis of sheep to lion. When you look at the word metamorphosis, we understand that they don't have a metamorphosis for a human or for anything other than caterpillar to butterfly type stage. But I want to speak from a spiritual perspective of you going from babe to giant, from sheep to lion. If we're going to allow God to be God in our life, we must first understand our purpose. Understanding your purpose is essential because too many of us allow life to just send us somewhere, and then we try to make that place peaceful, or we try to navigate ourselves to another place because we don't like that one. Not many of us come together to understand this is my purpose, this is my focus, and everything about me takes me there. Not me waking up, going to bed, waking up, and wherever life finds me, that's where I got to try to make good at. No. It's time for you to take control of your own life. And there's no greater reason to take control than knowing your purpose. The whole reason God even wanted you born. The whole reason God wanted you alive, chosen you. The Bible said you didn't choose God, God chose you. So it's important that in God choosing me, I understand why. Now everybody's not going to be a leader. Everybody's not going to be rich. Everybody's not going to be a PhD. But everybody got a part to play to produce God's glory. Do you hear me? Now one thing I'm going to kill, and I kill it not as a poor man, but I kill it living some of the best that the world can offer. I speak from that perspective, not from someone struggling, thinking that they will never have it. Materialism don't produce God's glory. Amen. Do you understand that? Amen. What you drive, where you live, the style of clothes you wear, that don't produce God's glory. The foundation of producing God's glory is how you treat other people. Amen. I'm going to say it again. You're going to respond like you believe me. The foundation of producing God's glory is how you treat other people. Amen. So no matter what you drive, where you live, what you fly in, you tell me when you think you're better than somebody else, God's glory just disappears. Amen. God has no glory. He wants to show off with people that think you're better than someone else. That's true. Amen. You know, this country has deemed to be one of the wealthiest countries in the world. This country is respected for its military force. This country is looked to, well, at one point was looked to for answers when you had global crisis, problems would arise. This country was leading a lot of other countries when it comes to aid and help and different things like that. But you need to understand, just because you benefit from evil never makes the evil good. Never makes the evil right. Now, if we ever, now let me tell you this, if we ever gonna rise and be anything for God, you can't be scared of truth. That's right. Amen. The foundation of this country is built with nothing but tools given to them by the devil himself. You have to be a special kind of evil person to do what was done to establish this place called America. Now he said, well, why don't you get up and leave? I ain't going nowhere. You shouldn't have brought me here. I'm going to get my 40 acres and a mule, whether you hand it to me or I take it, but I'm going to get what's mine. The problem is, those that's waiting for it to be handed out has become a menace, has become a burden. But those that decided, I'm going to get my share, are the ones that have did what need to be done so that they can be an asset to what God wants to do in the earth. Now I know you think because we all listen to a bag of chips and we can print more money than most people can spend, that it makes us great. But we cannot overlook what got us here. And there must be a repentance. There must be someone somewhere saying how we got what we got wasn't godly and we need to repent. Are you listening to me? You say, well, this is history. This is, no, listen to me. You can't keep putting whipped cream over dog mess and think it changed what's underneath. Are you listening? So at some point we got to come to grips with the truth. The greatest genocide that this world has ever known is that of the native people. Well, if that is true, why are we too scared to talk about it? When you have been forgiven of your sins and you believe it, you don't have to act like it never has happened. You don't have to change history and pile up more lies to cover up your mess. This is an error of our way. This is where we messed up. This is where we went wrong. You know, I love killing the myth that Christianity is a white man's religion. The only people that say that is those that are unlearned. They don't know the Bible. They don't understand what the Bible is taught, what the Bible is really saying. They don't understand when the gospel came to Africa compared to when the gospel came to the European nation. The gospel came to Africa less than 2 years after the resurrection of Jesus. The Bible tells us that Mark was on his way home, which was Libya. And on his way home, he stopped in a city called Alexandria, North City in Ethiopia. He stopped there and began to tell the people about Jesus. The gospel was going around in Africa for almost 300 years before it hit the European countries. The gospel was coming into the European countries that Constantine gave the church favor and would allow the church to allow the gospel to be preached among white people, pale-skinned people. And on his deathbed, Constantine accepted Jesus as Lord of his life. Now, here's what you got to understand. Scientists, I'm not talking deep, I'm not talking spiritual, but scientists have declared that the first human on earth had to come somewhere around the area of Morocco. Now, in that part of Africa, it is so hot, it is impossible for any Caucasian to live there for any amount of time and thrive. Just impossible. Now, why do I say that? Because if someone keeps trying to rob you of your history, you need to grow a strong anxiety to find your history.
Right.
Why do you keep telling me I come from this when I come from something more royal? Why are you not telling me I was God's first? Why are you telling me that another people are called God's chosen and I'm not his chosen, but I was his first child? Now you have to understand that if our history is something we're ashamed of, if our history is something we're too scared to teach and talk about, God Jesus said, if you be ashamed of me, I'll be ashamed of you. We cannot deny our history just so we won't offend others. Now you can't get your history and start hating. You need to get your history and know where you come from. Get your history and know what's expected of you. Are you listening to me? If there is a plan. Now I'm going somewhere with you understanding your purpose and taking you from sheep to lion. Follow me if you will. If someone go out of their way to keep you divided, then you need to understand that there is a power in your unity.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Right, amen. And our unity don't come because everybody agree with you. If we are going to unite, we have to accept the fact that we will have brothers and sisters that will love Trump, and we'll have brothers and sisters that will hate Trump, but that can't separate us, come on now, when it comes to our unity. Doesn't matter whether you gay or straight. We're not here for you to be a pastor, we're here for unity. Unity does not mean everybody got to think like you or accept what you accept. Amen. Unity is we come together for a common cause. Amen. We come together to benefit each other. Yeah. We come together so that we can stop some things in our community. Yeah. We come together that we can have our own where we don't have to deal with the prejudice of this America. Amen. So unity is essential. You can look and see how they mastermind to separate, and you'll begin to find where our strengths are. You don't have to tell most people to be lazy. Right. They'll be lazy on their own if the environment they grow up in allows it. Yes. So before we start talking about somebody need to give us a helping hand, you need to start right in your home, making sure that not only that the homework is done, but they understand why it's important that you discipline yourself to be educated, that you can be an asset to your people. Are you listening? Now, people, you can't tell me, oh, it sounds like you're teaching hate. If there ever was a people that have been humiliated, downtrodden, oppressed, enslaved, embarrassed, treated unhumane, and still had a heart of forgiveness, it is the black people. Yes, amen. You don't hear, can I have my towel back, please? You can't let people borrow your stuff. You get to the place that you have to understand your strengths. You have to understand where you come from. You are not a normal people, you're special people. There is no other people that can endure what we endure and still embrace any and everybody if you act right. Oh, we got people, we got everybody in every mix. But the pundits of blacks, African Americans, African descendants, we don't hate nobody because you're Asian.
Right.
We don't hate nobody because you speak Spanish. We don't have that. And now listen to me. Last point I'm going to talk about us coming together. Everybody don't have to fight like you for us to come together.
That's right.
But I'm going to tell you right now, hey, I'm against. No. You ain't against us. Be for what you for and mind your business for the rest.
Amen.
But there was talk that the Klans had, white supremacist groups and different ones had plans for y'all on 4th of July. That as fireworks would go off, that they would go and do some evil things to people that wasn't like them, people that didn't look like them. And then you had a militant group that went and they would go to where Klan, what we call a Klan headquarters, a place where Klansmen would meet, and they went armed. Now you may say that ain't the way I would do it, but listen to me. Some of us are safe because some of us are willing to die. So before you start talking about people walking down the streets armed, talking about, we gonna fight fire with fire. Don't you condemn. Jesus said, if they're not against us, they're for us.
Amen.
So you need to know your fight, stick to that.
Yes.
All right? Know your fight and stick to that. They said, well, and here's what you got to understand. They always try to find one of us to denounce what the other is doing.
Right.
Now, I don't care what you feel, what you got to say, everybody got a part to play.
Yeah.
And if you think that you're gonna get a better life by asking the oppressor to stop oppressing, give up your place on the throne and let me sit there with you. If you think that's how it's going to happen, you've been sadly mistaken. So we understand from our birth, we were separated in Africa. Different tribes did different things. Every group, every tribe, every citizenship, every city, every town, region had a governing body. But there were many that would oversee different things. Same way like the native people had here. This land right here, Pennsauken, is where native people grew tobacco. And they would take their small ships and sail it out to the larger boats so that they could exchange with their tobacco. The white man came to exchange the tobacco and decided they wanted all of the tobacco, and they killed and now Pennsauken is not just a town's name. Pennsauken was the name of that tribe. And they killed all the Pennsauken Indians, native people, killed them all. And now they came and wanted to grow the tobacco and couldn't grow it themselves. You have to understand that we had a system that we had warriors and we had prayer warriors. In Africa, there was only two types of religions, Muslims and Christians. You understand that? Muslims and Christians. And we had different ones that had different purpose. We had people that would pray during war, and we had people that would go to war. And when we were brought over here in America, what happened was they would separate warriors from everybody else. Because warriors would rather die than switch. Warriors would contaminate other people and start thinking like them. We can't let this happen. We'd rather die than let this happen to us. We can't let this happen. Do you see what they're doing to our queens? We got to go do something. We got to make something happen. Now, most of y'all don't know nothing about Haiti no more than what Hollywood tell you. You don't know nothing about Haiti. But what you need to find out is that Haiti did not become free because they prayed their way out. Now, prayer is powerful. Prayer has its place. But we cannot denounce all the tools needed to bring about the necessary change. Sound like you pushing violence. I'm not pushing violence. I'm getting you to understand your part. I'm getting you to understand whatever you've been called to do, you have to do it, and it has to line up with the Word of God. Meaning, I got to be able to fight my fight and still be able to love someone that looked like the enemy, but not my enemy.
Right. Amen.
Let's get into this. Go to 1 Peter 2:2. You got to go from sheep from lion. Now, sheep from lion are those that's called to lead. those that's called, come on, I'm about to say something that's going to make some of y'all have to go back and register to something. Sheep to lion is those that decided that I got to not only get in school, I got to finish it.
All right.
You can't leave and be miseducated,
Right.
uneducated,
Right.
misunderstood in everything you do because you don't understand. Some people are not bad. Let me tell you something. I let my son have a certain amount of freedom, and he'll be 20 years old this year. But I still care for him, so therefore he still got to abide by my rules. And I give him a certain amount of freedom with his dress code. Now you have that freedom, but with that freedom comes consequences. Now, I told y'all when we celebrated Juneteenth, we had at least 50 to 75 college students, I believe, if not more, college students.
Yeah.
And if you looked at them, you would think they were thugs in the street.
Right.
Highly educated young men with dreads, highly educated young men with their pants down, highly educated young men that's not dressed with a pair of slacks and a nice dress shirt. Well, what you have to understand is that if you're going to lead, you need to understand that my leadership comes with a price. You can be great and be different, but you got to be willing to pay the price. Most people want to be a leader, but they don't want to pay the price. If you have not paid the price to lead, don't try to lead. If you don't like reading, don't try to lead. We don't want you. We don't want to hear your barbershop talk. We don't want to hear your venom because you don't like what happened to George Floyd. Well, it's going to take more than just anger to bring about change. You're going to have some type of intellect. You're going to have to grow up and be something. You're going to have to be disciplined enough to know, I got to know how society moves. Oh my goodness. So go from sheep to lion. You got to be someone that's willing to finish what I started. Know what I'm missing and go get it. Know where I'm coming up short and find people that can help me bring it to pass in my life. 1 Peter 2 and 22. I'm sorry, 22. Is that 22?
No.
2, what did I say? 2 or 22? I'm sorry. 1 Peter 2 and 2. I'm sorry, 2 and 2. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word. I'm going to need another translation, New Living Translation be good as well. That ye may grow thereby. I want to show you something. I want to show you a different translation. And I want to show you something that is going to open your eyes to who you need to be. You know you're a leader from the inside.
Yes.
Not because you went to a motivational seminar.
Right.
You hear me? Right. You're not going to be a leader because somebody motivated me to start my own business. Now don't allow nobody to get you out there making you think you got to start your own business. Starting your own business ain't all that it's cracked up to be. All right? Some of y'all think you want your own business until you realize that, you don't work, you don't eat. You look at the snow, you look at the blizzard, and you still got to go. Ain't no sick days, ain't no personal days.
Right.
All right, I see you still want to go and sell some socks. Like newborn babes, listen to this. You must crave. The word crave, most people say, I'm craving some ice cream. But the word crave is to have a feeling, an emotion, something that overtakes you and drives you to something. It's not just a hunger and a thirst. It is something that overtakes me and make me go get what I'm desiring, what I crave. When you see somebody on drugs and they start craving those drugs, now you understand what craving is. They will hurt their mother and their father. They will steal from their family. They will abandon their children because they're craving something. When you really start dissecting the word crave, it's almost like an outside force that pulls you to a place that you wouldn't, in your head I shouldn't do this. But because of the craving of that thing, it pulls you to a place you wouldn't ordinarily go. Do you understand? I need you to understand craving. The newborn babe, you must crave the pure spiritual milk so that you will grow, this is important, I want you to get this, into the full experience of salvation. Y'all heard many times salvation is a personal thing. Well, salvation is a personal thing. Now you have to understand, the word salvation, I love this, because you know, most words you just can't go off just the surface definition. The word salvation means to deliver from ruin. The word salvation means to keep, it keeps you from being worth nothing. You understand that? Yeah. Salvation, when you see the word salvation, come from the root word salvage. The word salvage means you once was something, and now something has to come and restore you. Get you back to what you originally was. Well, you have to understand that when we see the word salvage, your full experience of salvation, cry out for this nourishment. Now, say right there, cry out for this nourishment. When you know what God has for you, don't look at where you're at. Look at what God intended for you to be before your father met your mother. Keep in mind what the Bible said. Before you was conceived in your mother's womb, I knew you. Do you hear me? Before you was conceived in your mother's womb, I knew you. So therefore, the person that God knew before you was conceived, that's where you need to strive to be. You can't try to be what makes money. You can't try to be what makes you powerful. You can't try to be what makes me look good, make more people to like me. I got to be what God told me to be. Are you listening to me? So you get to the place, the Bible said, cry out for this nourishment. You got a lot of preachers trying to tell you how to get rich. But if you get off into that foolishness, now I'm not saying you're supposed to be poor. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to desire nice things. What I am saying is, you can't try to build a relationship with God because you want some nice things. Do you hear me? It's okay to have money, but when money has you, you got a problem. Do you hear me? Notice the things that's going to bring you to the place that I called you. I called you to be a spokesman for me. If I called you for that, then you need to, that's what you need to cry after. Cry out for that nourishment. So when I understand my purpose, I can't get distracted with stuff. Do you hear me? When I understand my purpose, I can't allow the enemy to come in and sidetrack me with other things. You know how many people will y'all become a distraction back there. You know how many people will sell out because they want something for themselves. One of the biggest problems in Africa right now is that people become selfish. People become selfish. And when people become selfish, what happens now is they will make decisions of what benefits them and not what benefits the country. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand that God is looking for a people that will understand what He wants and work to bring that to pass. I'm called to preach. Not only am I called to preach, but I'm called to a specific group of people. I love everybody. Everybody's welcome. But I am called to uplift the African descendants here in America. I believe that with all my heart. I cannot get to the place that I will allow money to make decisions for me. You know, the moment the devil gets you chasing money, you can never grow roots for God. A lot of churches are looking for celebrities. They're not looking for someone that will hear God and speak. The Bible says in the last day they'll have itching ears. Listen to me. When you understand Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, you have to understand what they said. This is what they said. O King, our God is able to deliver us. We're not 100% if He's going to do it. We don't know if He's going to do it. But let it be known that we will not bow down to this image. We will not worship your God. This is where Christians need to be. It doesn't matter how bad I want something, because all y'all want to live. What God wants from me surpasses what I want. Are you listening? Because some things God going to call you to going to cost you some friends. When God called me to a different place in ministry, it cost me some family members. It cost people making up lies about me. People will say things about you and ain't nothing you can do about it. It's not your job to try to preach down every lie. I got family members right now that won't speak to me over a lie that some other family member told them. Now, what you have to understand. I desire pleasing God than I do family. I love family. I'm a family man. My kids, if you ain't hungry, it's all right. Come sit down at the table and watch us eat. But we gonna sit here together. Ain't nobody gonna be walking in here different times of the day, eating when you feel. No, we gonna eat at this time. Now, if you ain't hungry, you gonna sit here, you still gonna talk with everybody, and you can come back later if you want to. But dinner time, we coming together. We coming together. Now, you have to understand something. That if we are going to be great for God, then we have to get to the place that I want what God wants from me, and the cause can't scare me.
Right.
Who I lose can't scare me. Start living for people, you'll never find joy. At some point, you have to understand, I only can allow people in my life that understand what God wants for me and is on board with that. Now you can't, y'all been slapped before, so being slapped right now ain't gonna hurt you much. You gotta roll with it. You just gotta roll with it. You can't look and seek it out cheerleaders. You know you want to be great, but you only hang out with cheerleaders. Nobody's telling you the truth. Somebody need to tell you if you're going to be great. I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to change how you talk to people. You know, when people tell me, oh, no, you just got to get to know them. I know I'm dealing with a devil. I know I'm dealing with a devil. I don't have to get to know you for you to be respectful. I don't have to get to know you for you to be kind and to be humane to others. I told y'all last week, the Bible says you know people by their fruit. You don't know people by how they treat you. You know them by their fruit. There are many people that's going to be nice to you, but they're going to be the devil themselves to others. And they have no business being your friend.
Amen. Amen.
You think it's all right because they're nice to you. No, when I see you evil, listen, we can't be friends.
Right.
Well, you listen to me. Now all of us have come, and we used to parade ourselves in that. People be out in the streets doing everything and anything, but they respect us. And I'm telling you, man, they watch out for my car. They make sure that nobody break in my car. They make sure when I walk home from the train, this is Brooklyn I'm talking about, walk home from the train station, don't nothing happen to me. Well, listen to me. You can't make friends with the devil because you get a benefit from it. Do you hear me? See, if you learn who I am in God, I need to understand certain people are toxic to my destiny. Many of you will be further along if you've never dated the boy you dated.
Come on down.
Huh? Many of you will be further along if somebody, you know, I tell everybody this all the time. You know, and y'all heard me say this, and this is not because I'm trying to impress you. I'm trying to let you know the potential that you can have, but if you don't have the right coach, not cheerleader, coach. A coach make all the difference.
Yes.
Cheerleaders out there half naked, screaming and hollering and jumping and flipping and throwing pom-poms up and telling you can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
We down by 10, but we can still win. No, you can't. 30 seconds left in the game, and this is a hockey game. I'm trying to throw hockey in there. That'll make y'all be like, what is the hockey? Listen to me. Cheerleaders don't win games for you. Cheerleaders can only bring out what the coach put in.
Amen.
Now y'all mad at me now. So all your friends is just cheerleaders. Do it. You can. Do it. You can. Do it. If anybody can, you can. If anybody can, you can. If anybody can't, you can. And you go out there with that cheerleader pushing you, and then when they push you off the cliff, you find out you really ain't an eagle.
Yes.
I was telling my kids the other day, people that start a business with no mentor, people that start a business and don't have nobody that they can talk to will fail.
Yes.
There's a higher risk that they're gonna fail because they don't know nothing. You got ambition, but you can't be a success with just ambition.
Right. Come on. Right.
You don't learn how to fight because somebody got you real bad.
True.
Come on.
You don't learn fighting skills because all of a sudden you just upset and I just ain't gonna take it no more. You're gonna take as much as they want to give you because ain't nothing you can do about it. You have to be willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to put yourself in a position that I can be what God called me to be. So I got to make sure that I don't become a person with a lot of money and worth nothing to God.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
Do you hear me? Materialism is just enjoy. Look at America, but look how it got. I tell y'all this all the time. You know, just because, you know, your son go out there and kill somebody so that his mama can get a kidney, and then they say, oh, look at God. God said, I ain't gonna do that.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, but his mother lived 15 more years. God said, I don't care if she lived to be 100. Don't put my name on that foolishness.
Amen.
If you don't know anything else, you need to know the founding fathers of this country were not Christians. They had a God, but it's not the same God we have in the Bible. Because the Bible talks against what they had to do to establish this place.
Right.
You can't use the devil tools to build something and then go put God, and God we trust on. Come on now.
Right.
We can leave that alone. I see some of y'all must work for the treasury. Go to Ephesians 6 and 10. So now we have to understand now, God is saying you got a desire to grow. You come as a baby, but you got the desire to grow. You got a hunger. You got to be hungry for this thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, most of y'all know my sister on Facebook, my oldest sister. And, you know, I love my family, so don't you try to say what I say, so you won't get slapped.
Right.
So my sister went and bought some sneakers for $240. And well, I'm telling you, my children called her, and then I just couldn't take it no more. And that thing bothered me and bothered me and bothered me, because y'all listen to me, you know, it's her money, she's a grown woman, and the truth of the matter is she got most money. She got more money than most.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you that. My sister far from broke. All right, and it ain't like she don't have $250. It ain't like her rent not gonna be paid or nothing like that. She got it like that.
Right.
She got it like that. And a good manager of money. All right, when it comes to savings. But this one thing she did, I told my wife, we was getting ready, I don't know what, we was doing something, getting ready to go out to the pool. Or something we was getting ready to do, came in from the pool, and I said, I can't take it no more. I picked up my phone, I said, listen. First off, 240 is too much. I'll tell you that, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is, the kid said, you shouldn't have bought it in adult size, you should have got kid size. And they done went online. My nephew found the same sneaker for $120 less. Wow. You're getting in kid size. Go somewhere, Foot Locker, Finish Line, or Mother. So they called her, they texted her. She said, no, I'm gonna keep it because I don't plan to buy another pair of sneakers, another pair of sneakers as long as I live. This is it. But the problem is, you could get it for $120 less. Right. So I had to tell her, now listen to this. And then y'all know my sister, so don't you try to piggyback on what I say. Right. I had to tell her, you don't dishonor the blessings of God by being wasteful. Okay. Yeah. Do you understand that? Yeah. So even though you bless, don't mean you be stupid. You know, the first wave around 2008, we hit a recession. 2008. 2008. My wife and I was in the middle of building our house. We were losing more money than a little bit. And churches went through a real hard time. And we went to one conference and out in LA, and preachers began to tell how they cut their budget by millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Cut their staff, payroll, millions of dollars cut. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to them. And the church is still running just the same. And I sat there, and I was there with another preacher, and I said, this tells me, if you cut your payroll, cut the church expense by $20 million a year, and the church is still running the same, that tells me you've been wasting $20 million a year. What was you doing with $20 million that you can cut it and still operate on the same level? Let me tell you something. If you're going to be great, somebody got to teach you how to be great where you're going. Hunger for knowledge. Be hungry to grow. Be hungry to be something great in God. Ephesians 6 and 10. Now keep in mind, you got to hunger and thirst to be where God wants you to be. All right? Ephesians 6 and 10. Is that what I said, 10? Ephesians 6 and 10. And we're going to go all the way to 17. Finally, a final word. Be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Now I need you to see something. Keep going. Put on all of God's armor. I'm sorry, reading a different translation in my head. All God's armor, so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. Do you hear that? For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly place. Go to the next verse, but I need to explain this, because most people say that's why we just need to pray. We don't need to do nothing else. We need to pray. Keep in mind what God is saying. God is saying not that it's not going to get physical, because then that would contradict what Jesus told His disciples in Luke. Jesus told His disciples, He said, listen, remember before I told you don't take no money, don't take no extra clothes, and you don't have to take no weapons, right? He said, well, I come to tell you things have changed. Don't read it for yourself. He said, I need you to take some extra money, all right, and take some extra clothes, and every one of you that don't have a sword, sell everything you got and get one. Do you understand that? Right. A sword was not used for prayer. But y'all stay deep, stay deep. So look at this. It said we wrestle not against flesh and blood. What the Bible is saying here, you have to understand this. You're going to take my word for it, you go study it. We wrestle not against the person. So we don't wrestle against white people. You understand that? We don't wrestle against people in authority that's doing wrong. We don't wrestle against police. It's the spirit in that person. Right. Not the whole ethnic group. Right. No. It's not white people that's a problem. It's white people that are prejudiced, racist. White people in authority, they abuse their authority on specific groups of people. So it's not the person, but the spirit in the person that you fight. Do you understand? He said, well, I got to pray that spirit out. Listen to me. If you could pray the spirit out, then God would never have Gideon to get 300 men to lap water like a dog. If all it would take is prayer, God would have never sent one angel that killed 80,000 people. If all it took is prayer, God would have never brought the enemies together and have them kill each other to protect His children. So now this is what you have to understand. I'm not telling you go get no gun and be stupid. But what I am telling you is, if you're not willing to stand up for what's right, if you're not willing to fight for what is or who is under your care. Now people may not like when I say this, but it's my job to give my life for my family. Amen. There's no way I can live and allow somebody to do what they want to my wife, and then I sit there and say, we just gonna pray. No, we're not gonna pray. I'm going to jail, or I'm gonna die. Those are the only options. Now I'm gonna try to use wisdom not to get caught. That's what I'm gonna try to do, but it's a good chance they're gonna catch me. But I'm all right with that. Listen to me, let me tell you something. When God started telling you to put on the whole armor, Jesus told His soldiers to get a sword. There is going to come a time you're going to have to fight back. You can't just keep pulling out a phone hoping it bring about change. Somebody gonna have to learn how to throw a rock. So, oh, that's violent. No, I'm not. Listen to me. You call it whatever you want. But when Goliath was trying to overtake God's children, who we are, stop believing what everybody's telling you and study your own history. Who we are. You know, I got plenty of scriptures to show you black angels, to show you a Jesus that don't match the pale-skinned Jesus that's in all these Bibles and hanging up in churches. I didn't know Bible for that. I got Bible to say he's darker. I didn't say my opinion. I said I got Bible. Y'all look like you're upset. Keep the Jesus you got. Therefore, put on every piece of God's armor. Now, simply what this saying, whatever you do, you got to be backed up by God. Put on every piece of God's armor so you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. In the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will still be standing firm. Wait a minute now, G. Wait. Are you saying pray? Or are you saying so we might have to have some confrontation? Listen to me. Let me tell you something. You don't want to be no crazy person out there just shooting people, killing people, just because they're different. Are you listening to me? But we do have to understand that if the men are not willing to protect their homes, you know, when that boy Aubrey got killed and his father was up talking, I told my wife I can't even listen to him. Cut him off. I can't listen to him. Cut him off. Because these men were free for 3 months. Now you said, well, we got to let justice take its course. Now listen to me. If you don't understand by now, we got a justice system that if we don't force their hand, they won't move it.
Right.
It sounds like you're going to get us killed. You already being killed. Stop thinking you safe. Don't think that it won't happen to you. I've listened to many of men that said they thought they was protected because of their education. That professor in Harvard, and the neighbor called the police on him. He said, I never thought this would happen to me. I really thought I was above the average black. When Johnny Cochran was a district attorney, the police pulled him over to harass him because he was driving a Rolls Royce. He never once told them that he was the DA. And they took his car apart and they found his ID in his gym bag. Don't think if I'm educated I'm going to be all right. You know that young lady, what's her name? Candace Owens. She just a little bit of OJ in her. She forget where she at until they throw her to the curb. Don't be a people that think you're going to be protected just because you got something somebody else don't. Reach back and help somebody else. Reach back and pull some young person aside and talk to them. Talk to these young girls and tell them the struggles you went through, getting pregnant and not being married. Talk to them. Men be men. We don't need no sissies around here. We need men. You have a family, you take care of your family. We don't dodge child support. We can't find a job, we make a job. We get a lawnmower, we get a weed whacker, we get a gasoline can. I'm going to make a job. You ain't got no pride in the job you take when you got a family to feed. Let me leave that alone. Stand your ground. Putting on the belt of truth. Now at some point you need to know this ain't spiritual. This ain't prayer. Stand your ground. Putting on the belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. Come on. Now righteousness simply means right standing with God. Right standing with God. Listen to me. Do you know all this, them men was out 3 months going to cookouts and doing everything they wanted to do while they killed that boy, and people were in position to cover it up for them. It wasn't that one attorney got stupid and put the video out, and all of a sudden then it got the attention. Now you need to understand, for every one thing that get national attention, there's 100 others that don't get no attention at all.
Right.
And you need to understand, I know what police would do. I'm talking about, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, where police would handcuff you and beat you down. Now, I'm not talking about what I saw on CNN. I'm telling you what I saw with these eyes. Right. I've seen police officers walk up on a black man and try to belittle him in front of the community. I've seen that. That ain't nothing but something that come from slavery days. They're trying to humiliate you in public. I've seen police officers make a man lay on the ground and put his foot on his back while this man is well dressed. He'll put his foot on his back because he had a can of beer out in the open. This is what I saw on Nostrand Avenue. You have to understand that if you don't understand what we're fighting and you don't have the wisdom to fight back against it, you're gonna lose every time. I've been putting this out for a minute. Most black men are scared to really protect their wives because they're gonna be by themselves. George Zimmerman killed a black boy and became a millionaire. His people supported him in his evil ways. Right now, a police officer can kick in your, this is going on now. A police officer can kick in your door, shoot at you. You can shoot back, kill that police officer, you going to jail. And black folk won't put $1 towards your attorney fees. You're on your own. If we don't come together with, now let me tell you something, don't skip it. The people say skip me with that foolishness. You know this lady, I told one, I'm in this group, oh God, black people gotta stop being stupid. This woman come out her dumb self. Her son is out playing with a BB gun and it looked like a real gun. The officer stops her son, it was a group of them, right? The man in the store don't know it was a BB gun, a pellet gun. So he called, tell the police, young people out here with a gun. Police officer come, talk to the kids and say, listen, don't move. I don't want to hurt you. Keep your hands in the air. Now look now. They take the pellet gun, throw it somewhere in the bushes, right? The police officer calls all back up. All these police come. The community is screaming at them. Y'all got all these police out for these kids. Y'all got to listen here. Every time a group of police come, don't mean it's time for you to protest. Don't be stupid.
Right. That's right.
The mother gets on and says, I was just disgusted that nobody called me. I was just disgusted that this happened and I wasn't notified. Listen here, dummy. You need to go and take that boy home and beat his behind.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Right. Then you need to send a thank you card to that officer for not putting a bullet in his head. Right. See, we can't grow with and protesting behind stupid stuff.
That's right. That's true.
You know, I said this, and then this is the truth. I posted a video some time ago about police officers. Police officers take an oath. I'm talking about those that's right. They take an oath and they say, if someone is going to kill you, call me, and I will come between you and them. They don't know you personally, but they decided, I'm going to make this my job to protect the innocent, to protect the victim. That's what they said. I said, this is me personally, I'm not trying to get you to do what I do. If a police officer pulled me over and asked me for my driver's license, I don't even care why. I'm going to give it to you. Right. Why? Because you took an oath to protect me against a stranger. You would come and if somebody's shooting at me, you would come and put your life on the line for me. You do that. If you want my ID, you got it. Because I honor you like that. If a police officer sees, if I'm walking down the street and a police officer says, you have ID, where are you going? I'm going to answer you. Because you made an oath to protect me against strangers. You said you're going to protect a stranger against other strangers. You said that if a man jump on his wife, which is high risk for police officers, domestic violence. If a man put his hand on his wife, you're willing to go into an unfamiliar house and try to rescue that woman. You want my ID? You want to know what I'm doing? I'm going to answer you. I owe you that much. It's not until a police officer disrespect that uniform that I'm going to disrespect him. Now I may not be able to disrespect him right then because, you know, he got the upper hand. So if he pulled me and said, nigga, boy, where you going? You know what I'm going to say? Going home. I'm going to the store. See, y'all can be stupid if you want to. Who you calling, little boy? Man, listen, don't think you're going to be on CNN. They'll whoop you behind, they'll put a bullet in your head, and ain't nothing going to be done. Stop thinking you're going to be always, you're going to be the next George Floyd. They killing plenty of black folk. There ain't nothing being said. But if that uniform stop you, honor the uniform. Respect that man. Yeah, guys, I got a call that said that, you know, had some strange people walking in the neighborhood. I don't know who the strange people are, but this is who I am, and this is what I'm in this neighborhood for. Now, I don't got no problem telling them that. Do you know when I was on the other side of the law, when I was, you know, doing some bad things, and we see the police car too many times, we'd always cuss at them. The hell you around here for? You always around here, go somewhere else, go to the white neighborhood. Because I was the criminal. When I wasn't the criminal, when I see the police car, I say, hey man, how you doing? When people ask me how the neighborhood, I say, man, this is a good neighborhood. The police officers park up the corner there every time. They stop, they hang around, they walking around. See, if you got a problem with the law, that tells me you probably doing something against the law. So police officers walk around, they ask you where you going, tell them. I'm just taking a walk. Do you got any weapons on you? And the people are going, why you come to me with your hand on your gun? Because, listen, well, you look, well, y'all don't want me. Because as much as I am for change, I will not back up stupidity. Why you walking up on me with your hand on your gun? Because I don't know what you got. I told you. What? Boy, do you think I'm going to take your word? No, why? Listen to me. Police officer, I'm talking about the good ones now. Those that wake up to do evil, we don't care what happened to them. But there's some good police officers. Now I'm going to tell you, you don't want to live. You think you bad, but you ain't that bad that you want to live out here with no police. Your hand game ain't that tight. I can tell you that. You don't want to be just walking down the street with no police officers to answer your 911 call. We up against the evil ones. Not all of them. You know about something, well, we going to defund them. But listen here, as long as you don't defund somebody answering my 911 call. Because I got something to hold back. Come on now. If the Klan come to my house, I can hold them off for a while. I'll tell you that. But I can't hold them off long term. I need somebody to come. You ain't coming. I know you ain't. We sending out prayers. No, you know what I mean? Listen here. They say, listen, I listen. Y'all do what you got to do. They start talking about something. You can't have no more than 10 rounds, a clip that only holds 10 rounds for this. Okay. Okay. You be sitting there, you got them clansmen say, don't worry, we got the law. After 10 rounds, he got to reload. Child, you hear that thing keep going, and they'll start singing to you. I'll sing a lullaby when you're behind me. They say, we got the law, you want to have my 10 shots and now before you drop that. But I need to call somebody that's going to come see about it. Don't be against all police officers. See, I need you to use wisdom in our growth for change. If you're going to be a leader for change, don't be stupid as a leader. You'll get all our young boys killed. told my son, police, you get in contact with a racist police officer, because my son runs sometimes. I'm going to tell you right now, they got some civilians think they are the Lone Ranger. Now, I'll blow your brains out. I ain't going to lie to you. You ain't got a prayer. You ain't got a prayer. There is nothing that'll stop me from getting to you. If my boy go for a run, and you hit him with your truck, prison is the safest place for you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you either at your family cookout, I'm going to get you at your child's graduation party, I'm going to get you on your Sunday dinner, family reunion, but I'm going to get you, and I'm going to get you in a way that you're going to feel that sting. For me, if I miss you, you still going to feel that sting. Now that's just who I am. I don't ask you to like me. Now I ain't going to have nobody stopping my son, questioning him because he walking in the neighborhood. Now I'm going to shut you down.
Right.
And they poison my bushes over there. And I'm really tempted to put some more bushes out there. You know what I mean? I got the biggest lot. Now I had them bushes put up. I know who poisoned it. But I was thinking about putting a sign up. If you poison these bushes, I'm going to burn your house down. That's what we're going to put. So if you know if I burn the house down for my bushes, them bushes ain't cheap. No, I'm talking about my side yard is 150 feet across. And we got about 10, 11 bushes going across that thing. You try to buy $30, $40 a pop for a bush, and then somebody gonna come there and put something on there, because he will talk about something. We need all of the retention basin, he said, so the water can flow. That's what he said. I thought you want to use my land for your water to flow? Because I ain't the native people. I don't want no blanket from you.
Right.
And I ain't smoking no peace pipe with you.
Right.
Now, police officers are to be honored. People that just don't like black folk and think, you know, this is their movement. I'm going to tell you what their mindset is. This is our last hurrah. Because now we got too many people switching on us. Those that look like us is against us. This is our last hurrah. You need to get to the place that I'm willing to be what God wants me to be. I'm willing to have the backing of God on my side, but at the same time, I'm going to do it with wisdom.
Amen.
Let me finish this so we can go. For shoes, put on the peace that come from God, from the good news, so that you will be fully prepared. Come on. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Come on. Put on salvation as your helmet. And take, this is the last part here, take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Now, this don't mean that while they shooting at you, you quoting scripture. You understand? What this is saying is, if someone's trying to kill you, you have a right to defend yourself. If someone is trying to annihilate you and your people, you have a right to come together. Now, I'm sorry that people think I hate certain other groups because I'm trying to bring black people together. I don't hate nobody. No, man, I'm telling you, I've never, this is the God's honest truth, I've never, once in my life, looked at a person and said, they Puerto Rican, they like this, they're going to be, I hate them, I'm going to kill them, I'm going to do what I can. Never. Us coming together have nothing to do with hate, but everything to do with love.
Amen.
Us coming together, being smart, men being men, not just out here fighting and being dumb. Understanding that police have a part to play in our community. We ain't gonna jump on board just because they got somebody, you know, surrounded and arrested. What you gotta do that for? What you gotta do that for? Listen here, stupid. You don't even know who's who.
Right.
You know, I was in Brooklyn when I was a kid. This lady, her name was Eleanor Bumper, I believe, and she came at a police officer with a butcher knife, and the police officer had a 12-gauge shotgun and shot her hand off. Shot her hand off, so she didn't have a knife in her, and she kept coming at him, and then he eventually, you know, shot her a couple of times and killed her. And the protest was, you know, when you shot her hand off, that was enough. You know, you shouldn't have done it more. And then let me tell you something. when I was young, I imagined somebody coming at me with a knife, and I shoot their hand off, and they still coming at me. Yeah, no. They don't need a knife to kill me. That's somebody that's gonna grab your neck and just pull your. Child, your throat be hanging out. Talking about a Colombian necktie, what you get? I shoot your hand off. So the cop kept shooting, didn't kill him. They broke. Now I ain't protesting against that. But you ain't gonna bring my son out with his hands up in the air and start shooting at him. There's no uniform that'll stop me from getting you. There's no police station that'll stop me from going in there. I'll call the Taliban and tell them make me a vest. No. Listen to me. We can't be dumb in our movement. And if you listen to me, I'm gonna say this, slap you a little bit. If you're not an asset, don't be a big voice. If you're not contributing to the cause, if you're not helping other children get through college, if you're not telling children to be something, to make something of yourself, if you're not part of the solution, don't be a big voice in the community. We don't need another idiot screaming. We need somebody that's part of the plan. I need to know you need to know you have purpose. Your purpose must be laced with wisdom. And you must do it in love. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for your people that have come to this place for direction and instruction. I pray, God, that the word find them in a place seeking you and seeking understanding on why you called them. Have your way in their life and give them what's needed. Surround them with the right people that they can grow and flourish in the earth. We will give you the praise and the glory for it. In Jesus' name, amen.